So you're thinking about moving to Herriman, Utah. Well, before you pack those bags and head up the hill, there are 7 things that I wish I'd have known before I moved to Herriman. Things that'll save you time, money, and even a few surprises once you get settled. So let's jump in. By the way, I help people just like you every single week make the move to Herriman, Utah. And I would love to help you too. The best way to reach me is by calling my cell phone or sending me an email. That information is in the description below. You can also reach out to me on my website, which is homefinderutah.com. Herriman is one of the fastest growing cities in Salt Lake County. It has beautiful mountain views, great schools, and a strong sense of community. But before we jump in, here are 7 things that I wish I'd known before I moved here. Number 1 is the real cost of living. Herriman isn't the cheapest city in the valley, but it has a lot of value for what you get. Most single family homes right now range from the mid 500s up into the high 700s and up, just depending on the community and what upgrades you have in your home. You can also get a condo starting at about 350 and a townhome probably starting in the mid to high 400s. That's one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that the property taxes and HOA fees can vary a lot in Herriman compared to other parts of the valley. And one thing about Herriman is that there is no shortage on HOAs, especially in the newer communities. You're almost certain to have an HOA. So that's something you're going to want to take into consideration when you're moving here, especially if you're looking to move into a newer home. And those HOA fees can range from anywhere from 30, 40 bucks a month up into a few $100s a month, depending on what amenities they offer. Some will include some of your utilities like your water, internet, snow removal. They'll have parks, a clubhouse, swimming pool, while others don't offer those things. So you want to make sure you check the CCNRs, make sure you know what you're getting for your money, and you'll definitely want to budget accordingly. Number 2 is the schools and education. Now, Herriman is part of the Jordan School District, and it has some really fantastic schools. You have Herriman High School and Mountain Ridge are the 2 main high schools, and then you got some really good elementaries, such as Bastion Elementary, Oakleaf, Herriman Elementary, and quite a few others. And then you also have charter options like the Salt Lake Academy, which was formerly known as Athlos, and you have the Real Salt Lake Soccer Academy as well. So when it comes to schools, there are a lot of options. One pro tip is that you're definitely going to want to check those boundary maps because the school boundaries are changing all the time. With the amount of growth that Herriman is experiencing, boundaries do change. So you're going to want to make sure that when you find the area that you want to live, that you know what school your kids will be going to. And also make sure that there aren't any proposals that are going to be changing those boundaries here in the near future. So if schools are a top priority for you, you're going to want to make sure you have that conversation early on. Number 3 is the reality of the commute. Now let's talk about something that everybody asks about, which is the commute. Of course, during the summer, just like anywhere else in the valley, we experience a lot of construction here. We recently had some big projects going on Bangor Highway where they had 134th and Bangor closed for several months, which created quite a bit of congestion on 126. Those projects have wrapped up, but I'm sure they have many more that are in the works or underway. So you just got to keep in mind that when you're coming to a place that is growing as rapidly as Herriman is, there's going to be construction. There's always going to be things changing. So you want to make sure that you plan accordingly if you plan on commuting to other parts of the valley or out of the valley for your job. Generally speaking, if you're planning on driving to downtown Salt Lake, you could plan on about 35 to 45 minutes. Just kind of depending on the time of day and the traffic. It can definitely be longer than that during rush hour or if there's an accident, of course. But generally speaking, you're probably around 40 minutes on average. If you're looking to go to Lehi, Draper, Silicon Slopes area, you're going to want to plan on around 30 to 35 minutes. Again, sometimes longer, just depending on the time of day. If you hit that during rush hour, you're going to I-15 and headed down to Lehi, you're going to run into some traffic for sure. So you want to make sure you plan that out depending on where you work so that you know what your commute time is actually going to be when you make the move here to Herriman. The good news is Mountain View Corridor has made a big difference. That's the new highway here, and they also plan to expand that even further. So of course, with all the rapid growth, there's lots of plans for new roads to be built in the community that will help cut down on the commute time and make things a little bit easier for people that live here. Number 4 is the weather and the elevation. One thing that kind of surprised me when I moved here was the weather and elevation. I expected it to be the same. I moved from West Jordan, which is just not too far south and a little bit east from where I'm at now. And I didn't think things would be that much different, but Herriman is actually a little bit elevated from the valley. It sits a little bit higher in elevation. So we do have some changes as far as the weather and what we experience here. It's going to be a little bit cooler in the summers, and then we are going to get a little bit more snow in the winter. So you want to make sure that you have snow tires or four-wheel drive because we will get a little bit more snow. The bonus is that we don't experience as much inversion. We're actually up above it a little bit, so the air is a little bit cleaner here in Herriman than you experience in most parts of the valley because of that heightened elevation, which is definitely a good thing. Number 5 is lifestyle and outdoor access. Now, if you love the outdoors, Herriman might be the perfect place for you. We have over 50 miles of trails, amazing views, and spots like Black Ridge Reservoir and Butterfield Canyon for hiking, mountain biking, paddleboarding, and just enjoying the outdoors. The city also does a really good job with building parks and holding outdoor events. The J. Lynn Crane Park hosts summer concerts, food trucks, events, and local markets. They also have holiday parties like a big Halloween howl is what they call it. So a lot of events. We also recently went to an outdoor movie that was held at Butterfield Park. which is pretty cool. We drove the truck up and we backed in and we watched Hocus Pocus in the back of the truck on a massive screen that they had set up in the park. So one thing that I definitely do love about Herriman is the sense of community and their willingness to put on events and do things so the community can come together, get to know one another, and have a lot of fun. Number 6 is new construction and growth. Herriman is still growing really, really fast. Like I said, it's one of the fastest growing cities in Salt Lake County, and there's new construction everywhere. You'll find several big builders out here, each with their own floor plan, design, product that they're offering, as well as incentives and included features. One thing I always tell my clients is that you got to make sure you are fully aware of what is included in the price that they are offering a home at. Because prices can really add up when you add up like things like lot fees, lot premiums, included features, upgrades, closing costs, etc. Now the great thing is the housing market right now is really geared more towards buyers. So the builders are really offering some amazing incentives right now. A lot of them are offering lower fixed rates as well as lower starting variable rates, like a 2-1 buy down. Also, a lot of them are offering concessions on top of that, some as high as 10%. So you want to make sure that you're aware of what new builds are going on in the area. If that's something that you would consider, you can actually get a really good deal, especially on like some of the finished specs out there, and you can get some really awesome incentives also. Number 7 is the local vibe and the community feel. And finally, let's talk about the local vibe. We've talked about it a little bit already with all the events that Herriman has, and also the strong sense of community that you'll feel here. But it's true that Herriman really does have a very tight-knit community. It's really not uncommon to see neighbors constantly helping one another, kids out riding their bikes, people showing up to all the community events. It's not a place where people just tend to pass through. It's a place where people will put down roots and stay a while. So if you're looking for a place with a small town feel, with modern amenities and some really great mountain views, I think Herriman might be the place for you. So those are the 7 things I wish I would have known before moving to Herriman, Utah. Hopefully this helped you get a better sense of what life is really like here. If you found this helpful at all, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more future Utah insights and info about the market here on the Wasatch Front. And be sure to leave a comment if you have any questions or comments about living here in Utah or anything else that you would add to my list. And remember, if you're serious about making the move to Utah, I'd love to help you make it happen. You can call me anytime or send me an email. That info is in the description below. You could also go to my website at homefinderutah.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.